Alrighty, hey guys, welcome back to another video. We are in beautiful Utah. It is perfect today. The weather is awesome, and we are happy to be outside playing pickleball and talking about pickleball. This is my partner, G. How long have you been playing pickleball for, G?
About a year.
About a year, and he's already a 4.5 player. He's even played in some 5.0 tournaments, and despite some people's comments thinking he's not a 5.0 player, he's getting really close to a 5.0. Anyways, today we are going to talk about stacking. And so this is a very basic intro video on what stacking is and why it's important and kind of what can come from it. So before we get going, do you know what stacking is?
Yeah, mostly you do it when there's a lefty or if you feel more comfortable with a certain part of the court.
Okay. So you're at the 4.5 level or so. Do you see this often in your skill set?
Yeah, there's a lot of people that stack.
At what skill level would you say people begin to implement the stacking?
Yeah, I think like high 4.0, 4.5 level, that's when it becomes more important.
Okay, I would agree with that analysis. I would agree most lower level players below 4.0, 4.5 don't really know what it is or even do it. They don't see the benefit, and it's just a little bit confusing. It can be confusing just because you're out of place sometimes, but the first server band helps you stay in place quite often. So what we're going to talk about today is just, as I said, this is a very basic video, and we're going to talk about the fundamentals of stacking and what it is and why it's beneficial and why you see a lot of the pros use this. So we're first going to start back here as if I'm serving. Okay, so I'm left-handed, and my weapon, what I like to hit, is my forehand. G also likes his forehand, and so this works out perfectly for us. We want our forehands to be in the middle. More balls are going to be in the middle of the court than on the angles of the court. If the ball is hit to an angle, that opens up the Ernie shot, which I have a video on, so make sure to watch that. But it opens up the Ernie shot, and so most of the time, the balls that are going to be hit will be more so in the middle than on the sides. And so that's why you want the strong weapons in the middle of the court. Okay, so we're going to pretend like we're serving a match. Okay, so this is my partner G. I'm serving, I'm first server. I have the band right here. So we're going to say 0-0-2. And since this is how we will start the game, we're starting off this way, it's going to be easy. Boom, we serve it, we win the point. 1-0-2, okay? Now, instead of G normally going over here, this is what is called stacking. He is going to stay on this side as to keep the forehand, his weapon, in the middle. However, I'm going to serve it 1-0-2, and after I serve it, I scoot over this way. That way, we are still keeping our forehands in the middle and keeping our weapons in the middle.
We lost that point.
Huh?
Then we lost that point.
Then we lost that point. Not yet.
Oh,
I hit a winner.
Good job.
The next one, he misses an easy overhead, as he always does. So we serve it here, and then our weapons are in the middle, okay? Normally, if you play straight up, normally, G would have been over here, okay? But since we are stacking, he comes back over here, okay? Let's change the scenario. All right, we do lose that point because G missed an easy overhead that I am furious about, okay? So I am over here, and he's over here. However, we want our forehands to be in the middle, so what do we need to do?
We both need to scoot over.
Okay, so you're over here, you're returning.
Oh, we lost. 0-0-2.
We lost, so it's 0-1-1. Our opponents are serving the ball, okay? They serve it to you, and then what happens?
I hit it and I go behind you.
Okay, he hits it, and then he comes behind me in order for us to continue to keep our forehands in the middle, okay? And this is where it gets a little confusing just because we're switching places. It's not that confusing once you start putting it into play. A lot of people will get mad at me and say, yes, it is confusing. And I will say that even at the high level pros, they still make mistakes. They still get confused every once in a while. And so it does happen. You're not going to be perfect, but it is easier the more you put it into practice. Okay? So do we win this point or lose this point?
We win it.
Okay, we win it. All right, so now I'm receiving. Okay? They serve it to me. It is, we won that point. So it's 0-1-1. 1, they're on their second server. So they hit it to me, I hit this, and then where do I go?
Behind me.
Okay. I go behind him.
Okay.
There's one other thing that we didn't talk about. So right now we're doing this little switching thing. For some, that might be complicated, too complicated that they don't even want to put it into practice. What's one other thing they can do to make this maybe a little bit more simplified?
Yeah, I've seen people just stand on the side of the court, outside, up at the kitchen.
Okay, exactly. So let's say I'm returning the serve again, and G doesn't want to switch, but we want to stay stacking. So they serve it to me, and instead of G coming over, he stays right there. Okay, so I hit it, and then he just filters in over here, and then I come right here. Okay. I suggest that method for those that feel maybe a little bit slow, they might be injured, or if they feel that the other way is simply too confusing, too many moving pieces. Alrighty, G, what did you learn about stacking today?
It can be confusing, but if you keep it simple, then you can stack effectively and keep the weapons in the middle.
Keeping the weapons in the middle, keeping your strong shots in the middle is going to pay major dividends, and you're going to get a lot of free points by doing that. It might be a little bit confusing in the beginning, but I promise that if you continue to put it into practice, you will see those results, and it will become a lot more easy to go forward. I'm a left-handed person, and so 95% of the time I'm stacking when I'm playing in tournaments. And so I have that ingrained in my head that when I am an even number, since I'm always the first server, I will be on this side. So for me, that makes a lot of sense. Maybe you might always be on this side. Whatever side that is, it will be easier for you to revert to remember the more you put it into practice.
Yeah, a good thing for me is if you're an odd number score, you're in an odd place. So if he's odd, he's going to be over here, which is different for him. And if it's odd, I'm going to be over there, which is odd for me, different.
Exactly. Basically, the more you put this into practice, the more comfortable you'll feel with it. And so if you're playing with somebody and you want your strong shot in the middle, then you might want to try stacking. Once again, thanks for watching these videos. Make sure to like, subscribe, and follow along for more videos.